One cold morning, heavy snow covered the ground. Duck and his teammates were relaxing by the river, fishing rods stuck at their feet, hands slowly pulling the line in the quiet air. After a stressful week of work, everyone was looking forward to a day off to relax, to forget the fatigue, but the phone suddenly rang, breaking the peaceful atmosphere. The phone showed the name of the manager of the Northern Forest. Duck picked up the phone. The voice on the other end was urgent. Duck, the forest on the northern hill is having a big problem. A giant tree fell across the road. If not handled in time, the snow will continue to cover and cause more trees to fall. We need you and your team to urgently support us. Without a second of hesitation, Duck immediately stood up. His eyes glanced at his teammates who were looking at him in surprise. He smiled lightly, saying, "Okay, guys. This fishing trip must be rescheduled. Prepare the oil and gear and let's go." Everyone hurriedly packed up their fishing gear. Everyone was quick because they were used to emergency situations like this. They returned to the parking lot, where the cranes and specialized trucks were parked quietly, waiting for a new mission. The snow was falling heavily, covering the vehicles in layers, making the preparation work even more difficult. Duck assigned his teammates to prepare oil, check the vehicles, and arrange the necessary tools. After fully preparing, Duke's team divided into two groups. One group was responsible for driving the crane first, the other group followed behind with the task of transporting oil and supplies. The snow was falling more and more heavily, making the road slippery and dangerous. The crane running first tried to maintain speed to avoid getting stuck, but when reaching a steep section of the road, the vehicle skidded and got stuck in the snow. Duck and his teammates were not discouraged, quickly deploying a support plan. One member took out a shovel to dig out the thick layer of snow to help the wheels gain momentum to get out of the mud. The whole team struggled to shovel snow in the freezing cold. The snowy air was so cold that white smoke came out of their breath. After a while of struggling, they finally got the car up and continued moving forward. The next leg of the journey was not easy. The snow fell thicker and thicker, covering the entire road. The wheels sank, forcing the whole team to stop many times to clear the snow and add oil to make the engine run smoother. The whole team laughed and encouraged each other. Although it was hard, everyone kept an optimistic spirit. Near noon, the whole team came across a small stream blocking the road. Under the white snow, the stream was slippery and icy. Duck signaled his teammates to stop and examine the situation. After discussing, Duck decided to send the crane ahead to explore. If they could get through, the whole team would continue. The crane slowly entered the stream. The wheels slid on the ice and snow, making everyone tensely watch. Finally, the crane passed. The whole team cheered with joy. The remaining cars crossed the stream one by one in an excited atmosphere. Although tired and cold, everyone maintained their spirit of solidarity, overcoming all difficulties together. Finally, Duke's team reached the forest on the northern hill. The picture that appeared before their eyes was a scene of white snow covering branches and leaves, trees weighed down by a thick layer of snow. Some trees had broken and fallen due to the weight of the snow, and just as the manager warned, a large old tree blocked the road. Duke quickly divided the work among everyone. Fong and Hai were assigned to drive the crane to saw the trees. They carefully checked each saw blade and tool, making sure everything was ready before starting the work. The other members, including Hung and Tan, prepared the vehicle to transport the logs to the safe gathering point. When everything was ready, the sound of the saw began to rumble, tearing apart the quiet space of the forest. Duke and Fong split up to saw the big branches first. Each piece of wood falling down made a clear, crack, crack sound in the air. The teammates carefully stayed away from dangerous areas, supporting each other in cutting down the tree in the safest way possible. When the last old tree was cut, the team's next job was to transport the big logs. Hung controlled the large crane, gently lifting each large piece of wood onto the truck, while Tan took charge of transporting the wood to the gathering point. The whole team had to work quickly because the snow was falling thicker and thicker, threatening the progress of the work. The work went more smoothly when everyone coordinated well, encouraging each other while working. The snow was still falling non-stop, but the laughter and jokes of the members still resounded loudly in the cold forest. Everyone encouraged each other, sharing funny stories to forget the cold.
After many hours of non-stop work, the team finally complete the task. The disblocking the railway click, the forest became more open and safe. Duke passed it of his teammates on the shoulder, thanking everyone for trying their best in difficult conditions. Everyone was exhausted, their hands were cold, but they heard because they had completed the task excel.
On the way back, the team did not forget to laugh and talk, recounting funny moments while working. Hung recounted the scene where he almost slipped and fell while pulling a piece of wood, making everyone laugh. The team decided to stop at a small roadside shop and drink a cup of hot tea to dispel the cold. They sat together, looking at the white winter sky and told themselves, no matter how hard the work was, as long as they had teammates by their side, they would overcome everything together, just like they had overcome countless challenges on snow-covered roads.